Hey everyone. So I wanted to kind of touch on a topic today, and it was something that I kind of came across today while I was trading. And as the title says, it's self awareness while trading. Basically, um, you want to be aware of your thought process, your emotions, your feelings, everything. You're just your mindset, everything, and ultimately that for me personally keeps me from making a bunch of bad decisions. And today was one of those examples. So today, right out of the gate, I took a nice trade. Um, it was a winner, painless trade. Worked out fairly quickly, and it immediately put me into the lower portion of my daily goal. So at that point, um, what that means for me is that I am satisfied with this amount. This is kind of the minimum amount that I look to make each day, and I should be happy with that and not get greedy, so to speak. So, I took that trade. It's really early in the day at this point. Um, the market hasn't even been open 30 minutes yet. So I find another trade on gold, and this trade um, pulls back and misses my entry by one tick. So it misses my entry, and it just absolutely rips in the direction that I was looking to trade. So at this point, I'm kind of that's part of trading. It happens, but it's always it kind of stings a little bit to just barely miss a great trade. So at that point, I go back to the ES. I find another trade a little later on, and end up taking a loss on it. It wasn't that it was a bad trade. It was just not the time for that trade in the context of the market at that moment. So took a loss, put me down slightly on the day, just almost break even, but slightly red. And I go back to gold to find another trade. This one comes down, actually comes down and hits my entry and doesn't fill me, and it rips. So again, uh, gold kind of gold kind of kicked me in the shin, so to speak. And I watched this trade rip again. Two big trades that would have really probably would have been one of my better days this year had I caught all of these trades. So, but again, it ripped without me, and I end up finding another setup back on the ES. I get in, it goes to my profit, it goes and hits my profit, my target, and doesn't fill me, pulls back, and gets me out break even. So, um, I'm starting to realize a pattern here. It's starting to slightly frustrate me, but not enough to where it's jeopardizing my trading yet. So, I end up fighting another trade, and this is on gold again. So, normally I'm not this active on gold, but today there was nice setups. I was trading it, and on this one gets me in, and it goes in my favor enough for me to move my stop to break even, and I actually moved it up slightly above so that I could take some profit off if it did come back. Well, of course it comes back and gets me out. So now I am just barely over break even on the day. And at this point, it's starting to get frustrating, and I'm already almost an hour and a half into the trading session. Usually, I just trade the first hour, I do what I do and I get out. I don't mess around much longer than that. An hour to an hour and a half is kind of the max for me. So I find that's where I'm the most efficient um, and comfortable in the market. So, but here we are approaching the 2 hour mark. I spot another trade on the ES, and I get in. It's kind of an aggressive trade, but it goes in my favor. Hits my target, doesn't fill me, pulls back, gets me out break even. So, this is like the fourth time today, third or fourth time today this has happened. And, at that point, I was emotionally jeopardized. And what I mean by that is I was frustrated, but I was also kind of just, my thought process was changing. My heart rate was kind of elevated a little bit because I was frustrated. And now I'm starting to rationalize setups and trades that aren't setups that high probability setups, or setups that I would normally take. So I realized this and immediately close my platform, close my computer, shut it off. I go downstairs, leave the house, and ultimately that is a huge win for me because even though leading up to that, there was some red flags leading up to that. I traded past my allotted time frame. I should have stopped trading when I was in the range of my daily goal, and I should have just after taking those break-even trades, I was realizing that I was taking great trades, but I just wasn't getting rewarded for them. And that is a sign for me that today may not be the day. You just may be one of those days where this is kind of how it is, and it just makes trading that much harder. So that's a sign for me to walk away. I can come back, trade tomorrow. But in the past, I would not listen to myself. I would not stop. I would continue to go down, kind of spiral out of control to the point where I would just be taking trades that may not even make sense. But for whatever reason, I'm just so emotionally jeopardized at that point that my mind is justifying these setups, or literally finding any reason to take any setup. Or not even, it doesn't even have to be a setup. It just, the price can be going up, and in some crazy way, my mind will justify that now is the time to buy, and then you just enter randomly, and ultimately that would cause me to spiral out of control, and I would have just huge losing days for no reason, just because I didn't listen to myself. I wasn't self-aware. And that's kind of what I wanted to share today. So hopefully that maybe makes you think a little bit, or kind of helps you out as you continue forward. So for me, it's been one of it is kind of my kryptonite for myself. It's the single thing that will cause me to either blow accounts or just dwindle an account away to the point where I did the right thing 90% of the time, 95% of the time, 99% of the time, but that 1% where I just did not listen to myself and spiraled cost me X amount of my account. So hope that helps. Just wanted to share that. Thanks for tuning in this long, and we will get back to it soon.